So, welcome to the podcast, Russell from RDProStikz. How are you, Russell? You well?
Hey, Rab, how you doing?
Not too bad. Yeah, if anything, it's good to have you on the show, man, because that seems to be, I've been following your YouTube channel now forever.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
No problem. So, for folks who don't know who you are or what you're doing, can you first of all give us a bit of an introduction then? You're a bass player, is what I know you as.
Yes, that's right.
Tell us a bit about your background then. How did you get started?
So I started actually in England. I was born and raised in there in England, a town called Woking in Surrey. Mm-hmm. My parents were part of a Scottish street band. They never competed or anything like that, but they have played at the Queen's Jubilee and things like that over the years. It was the band is still going today. It's called the Oatlands Park Pipe Band. My dad played bass drum. My brother played the snare, and at one point, my mom played the pipe. So it's very much a family-involved environment, which we all know the pipe band is. And I actually started learning on the tenor drum. That's where I learned to flourish. And I was like 14 at the time. So a wee lad.
There you go. And then from the UK, then over to the States to where you are now. So whereabouts in the United States are you at the moment?
Yeah, I'm living in South Carolina, Lexington, South Carolina. I've been over here for a bit more than 20 years now. The short story is I met my wife online. It was not a dating app. It was just AOL because it was dial up at the time. You didn't have dating apps.
Yeah,
but I came over here to be with her basically.
There you go. That's a cool story, man. Cool story.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So you took your piping and drumming heritage, I suppose, from the UK to where you are now. And who are you playing with at the moment?
So right now I'm actually playing with a good friend of ours, JD Ingram, with the Charleston the Charleston Pipe Band, not the police pipe band anymore, but Charleston Pipe Band. They're great little group.
Our voice of Weekly Drone, the almighty JD. Is it ever weird talking to him now and you think, you sound just like Weekly Drone? Did you ever do that?
Yeah, I've known JD for years, so he's he and I have been good friends. We've met at workshops, we've played together over the years, we've hung out at several Highland games. I mean, I remember him as a kid, so.
He's a legend. He's a legend in his own right, for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So obviously you have quite a bit of experience in competing and all the rest, but you also provide some tuition and stuff in recent years as well.
Yes. Yeah. I do online workshops. I give Skype lessons to those, or Zoom or WebEx or whatever. Any of those applications, I'll give online lessons to. I'll do workshops. I was recently hoping to teach at a workshop here in North Carolina, run by my good friend Dermot, but unfortunately, COVID canceled that again. So, but that should be on next year. So I'm looking forward to that.
Nice. That's kind of been the story of our piping scene over this last few years, hasn't it, Russell? It's been mad. Yeah,
it has been crazy, Rab. Honestly, just seeing so many things canceled. Bands separating, people giving up playing. It's been just heartbreaking, and I'm glad to see everybody's finally getting back to it.
Indeed. And if anything, that's something I kind of want to throw myself neatly into this next little segment. Now, I want to talk about your YouTube channel. Okay, great. So for anyone out there who hasn't checked out your YouTube channel, for those watching the video at home, we're actually looking at the website right now, RDProStikz.com. Tell us about this, Russell. How did this all start?
So initially it started off with just my YouTube channel. Back in 2020, I was looking on YouTube and I was like, well, how can people practice? How can we continue our art form? And went to YouTube to see if I could find some videos for me to practice to. And there's really nothing. No offense to those that have put stuff out in the past, because they are vital for beginners, and I support them wholeheartedly. But there's not a lot out there for bass drummers. There's some stuff out there for tenor drummers, but not a lot for bass drummers. So I was like, all right, somebody's got to do it. Why not? It was in April 2020, I think. I put out my first couple of videos talking about bass drumming, and they were rough. So
that was just around the start of lockdown and everything as well. When people are starting to get shut in their homes. So how did you find the reaction to folks online? Those discovering your content and that, did they enjoy it or were they critical of it?
So very, very mixed reactions. There's some folks out there that some good friends of mine, and they loved it. They loved the fact that I was trying to do something. But then also there are folks, and I think it's true for anybody that's in YouTube or in the limelight talking about stuff. There is some critical reaction to it. You do get the pushback. Some people saying, you don't know what you're talking about, or where's your credentials? Prove to me you know what you're doing. Yeah, love you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a lovely thing being online, isn't it? Sometimes,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We have done an episode of Hater Mail that we've got here on the Big Rab Show podcast, and there might be one in the near future. Let's just say that. But yeah, we're not all immune to it, I'm sure.
Right.
But honestly, Russell, one of the things is now that we are starting to branch back out again, your channel has really come to life because you've been at competitions and such in recent videos. And it's been brilliant to see, So that's how have you found that, getting back and playing again?
Honestly, it's been amazing. And it also highlights how out of shape I am right now. I'm very much matching my bass drum. So, it's nice to get back out there, but at the same time, you throw that bass drum on for a while, like, whew.
Yeah, it is a physical thing. It does. You have to be match fit, don't you? Really?
You do. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you gotta drink the beers and everything, but at the same time, you got to work out to support that bass drum.
That's it, indeed, man.
But being on the field's great. I'm glad to be back out there. Glad to see friends and family I haven't seen in 2 years. So, I'm really excited.
I can't wait. When the season kicks off here in the UK in May, I'll just be like a big kid in a sweet shop. I can't wait. Absolutely can't wait.
Absolutely.
So, can I ask you, Russell, you've made some quite interesting videos about soloing and bass drumming. Now, it's something we've kind of dipped our toes into here in the UK. We've seen it every now and again, but it's more for tenor drummers. We haven't seen it much in bass drumming. Is there much of a solo bass drumming scene in the US?
So it comes at ebbs and flows. There have been some years I've competed for years here in the USPBA, and like I said, it ebbs and flows. There are some competitions you'll get 4 or 5 bass drummers at, and the competition is strong. And other times you're the only bass drummer.
Oh, really?
And
wow.
So it's very much a mixed atmosphere. I mean, granted, there can be other bass drummers for mass bands and for band competition, but you're the only bass drummer in solos. And just like piping solos, just like snare drumming solos and tenor drumming solos, it's great for a bass drummer too, because we're the heart of the band. We have to do, so much. We have to make sure our timing's right. We have to make sure the breaks are right. Make sure that, we are accentuating that hard, soft, medium, soft pulse for stress bass and things. And so it's important for us to get that detailed feedback from the judges.
Absolutely. And we've said it here on the show before, the bass drummer of your band is absolutely vital, but I think honestly, it goes as an unsung hero, I suppose, of the band, because I've been in some bands with some bad bass drummers. All right. Now, I'm not going to throw anyone under the bus here, but when you have a bad bass drummer because everything feels wrong, just the pipes don't gel with the snare line. Everything's just off and nobody knows what's wrong. It's one of those things. So for anyone out there who's considering possibly doing solos from bass drumming and all the rest, folks in the UK aren't that experienced with it. What would be any, tips or point of references for them?
Just, like anything, you get your feet wet, just do it. Go out and have fun. Number one, the way the solos are structured, you can start off right there at a comfortable level, just playing a single march, like in the USPBA right now. They've just regraded, so they now have 4, 3, 2, 1 in the grade system instead of novice, amateur, and professional. So it's nice and granular. You can start out just playing to a recording, just a straight march, get your feet wet, and enjoy it. Show that not only what a 2/4 and a 4/4 is, but that you enjoy it and you can express the music.
I see. That's good
really
advice.
Not a lot to it. Just find yourself a good piper and snare drummer.
That's sometimes a battle in itself too.
Yes.
So it is. Yeah, absolutely.
God, yeah.
So I have to ask, I've spoken to many bass drummers over the years, and a lot of them have various different opinions about the role that the bass drummer has. A lot of people say, in lower grades, when you're looking at grade 5, 4, 3, you're more a metronome. and you keep time. Everything else above that, you're starting to create your own voice. But what we've seen over the years, especially, I think, is bass drummers in all levels creating their own voice. Is that something that you find yourself in the experience?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And you see those people that even in the lower grades, the grade 5 and grade 4, when they start to actually play the music rather than just keeping a straight beat, being a metronome.
Yeah.
The whole band enjoys it more. Quite often in my early days, I would get told, "Oh, you're getting into the groove of the music. You're enjoying it," and we start to enjoy it more too. Yeah. And then further down the line, now I'm told, "Oh, we know when Russel's dancing, the whole band's got it, and we're all together."
That's it. I have to ask you about that, because I have seen some videos of your performances, and man, you just have the head in the clouds and you're loving it. You're having the best time. Is that something? I'm sure it's not deliberate. I'm sure it's just something that happens during performance for you. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'll get lost in the music, and it's usually something I've played over and over and over, and I just love the piece of music. And like you said, I'll get lost in it. I'll just be thinking about, okay, yeah, this is it. I'm in the groove. I'm just dancing, and I really love being in the middle. I really love playing with the group of guys, and we're a whole family, and we're making this beautiful music, and the crowd's gonna love it. And then when they do, oh man, that gives me chills.
You're giving me the goosebumps thinking about it, I'll be back in the circle now too. Yeah.
Come on. Yes.
So Russel, I need to ask you then about the sticks themselves, because not only are you doing like tuition, your YouTube channel and all the rest, but you're also producing your own line of mallets and sticks and everything. Tell us about these. How did you first start making your own sticks?
So I have to give all the credit to the late, great Bob Mead. He was teaching at the NAAPD workshop that happens every June and July. He actually did a mallet making class for several of us. And at the time he was like, he kind of jokingly said, "I'm getting too old to continue making these sticks, but I want somebody to pick this up and carry on making them." And so, not only did he teach, I think it was like 8 of us in the class at the time, how to make tenor and bass mallets. And he shared how to cut the foams, what type of furs he uses, and all that. But then later on, I started, experimenting with different woods and things. Bob would actually make 10 sets of mallet handles at a time and send those to me so I could design my own furs and everything.
Wow. Yeah.
And it really was all down to him. He shared everything with me, all the measurements, all his secrets. And, I am so thankful that he did, because I'm not only able to make and carry on the best line of mallets that I've ever used. Love you, Bob. Thank you. But I'm able to experiment with that knowledge and create my own flourishing mallets and create my own version of the tenor mallets.
Ah, fantastic. Yeah. And they do look, incredibly interesting, if you don't mind me saying, because they don't look like other bass mallets. I have seen some bass mallets, and the handles on yours are really quite unique. Is that something that you've developed over time?
It has. It's all made out of wood. And I find that wood patinas individually to everybody's hands. Everybody's hands are very different in oils and dirts and things like that. And it's almost like they become a part of your hand, because they take on their own sheen and patina and wear from your own hands.
I see. Well, you did mention flourishing a couple of times. I think, this is something that you've kind of become famous for, as being a flourishing bass drummer. I have only seen it done maybe once or twice in my life, but is this something that you have done from the beginning?
So I have toyed with it. I'm not going to say I've always done it. I think I started flourishing on bass in the early 2000s because I had heard of previous bass drummers doing it, and it was no longer done. I was like, well, we're going to change that. We're going to bring it back. And I saw a video of Ty Fry doing it back in the early 90s. I saw, I think Big Johnny Rao used to do it, but he did a slightly different twist with his hands or something. I was like, you know what? It's time to bring the flourishing back on the bass drum. But we still need that great sound that the toilet roll mallets do today, right? So between Bob and I, we talked about a flourishing base mallet, and he had something already out there. And we toyed around with the different foams, and he brought out his own line and then showed me how to make them. And you know, I bought them. I bought the first set of, you know, it was a Delrin rod that he used.
Oh wow!
And I bought that set, and I started flourishing with them as soon as I got them. I was like, yeah, this is going to happen.
I'm sure it's bound to be. It's bound to be really challenging, though. You know, with carrying a bass drum and then having to kind of get above it. Do you know what I mean? And the sticks too, with the weight and everything. It's bound to be its own skill set.
The sticks are very light. So they're not much heavier than a regular tenor mallet. But yeah, I could be saying that just because I'm used to the weight. I've been doing it for so long.
Yeah.
But really, you know, obviously you're not doing pinwheels or, you know, hello goodbyes or mummy daddies, any of that, because you know you're too high on these massive bass drums. But you know, just simple spins, you know, forward spins, back spins. You can do doubles, you know, a wide push out maybe here and there. Just something to get the sticks in the air, and it's really not that hard. It's a little good
bit of a workout
on the shoulders.
Yeah.
But you know, your body gets used to it the more you do it.
There you go. Well, if anything, I now know for a fact people are going to start throwing it into YouTube, trying to find performances of you flourishing, Russell.
Yes, do it.
Go do it now. Honestly, it's a treat for sure. So, by way of a shameless plug, then, do you want to direct people then to your website and everything where they can find out more information?
Absolutely, yes. Go visit me at www.rdproStikz.com. There's links there to my YouTube channel, my Facebook page, my Instagram channel, and my Etsy merch page. You can contact me directly, ask about my mallets. You can ask me why, you know, I'm balding, why I'm thinning hair, you know, why I grow my goatee, anything. You can reach out to me personally, talk to me. I would love to hear from anybody that wants to, you know, fill out that form.
Perfect. I have to say, I did check out your Etsy page earlier on, and the merch on there is class. Yeah. so go and check that out, folks, and pick yourself up some sweet RDProStikz merch. Yeah.
Thanks, Rab. Yeah, there's some stuff on there that, you know, people ask me about. Oh, why'd you put that on there? But then there's also stuff that, you know, I've really thought about it. There's some stuff like the water bottle is insulated, so when you're on the field, it's great to have always cold bottle of water.
There you go.
There's towels on there I always try and think about what you could use on game day. So there's a lot of stuff on there for game day.
Definitely. Oh, there you go. So, Russell, I have to say thank you for taking time to chat to us on the podcast this week, mate. It is honestly good to catch up with you, man. But I have to ask, what does the future hold for you then? Obviously, further YouTube videos, I'm guessing.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm going to keep doing the YouTube channel. I will put out videos as often as I am able to. You know, my primary work certainly does steal me away quite a bit. But, you know, I hope to do YouTube for a long time. More 5-minute lessons, more workshops, playing with the Charleston Pipe Band for at least another year.
Nice.
I have other bands that are reaching out to me and saying, hey, we need you on bass or tenor. So, you know, you might see me around at different bands, different events all over the country, all over the world.
Indeed, yeah. And who knows, you might actually make it over to the Worlds or something. You never know.
That would be awesome. I do want to come back home. I do want to, you know, visit the UK. And yes, the Worlds in August. I do want to do RDProStikz live from there at some point.
Oh, mate, wouldn't that be brilliant? Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Well, if that happens, please let us know. We'd love to hear that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'd be there.
Yeah, no problem.
Front row for sure.
Yes.
Indeed. Well, Russell, thanks so much, mate. Again, do you want to just remind folks about the website and that before we say cheerios?
Absolutely. Yeah. RDProStikz.com.
There you are.
It is spelled special. RDProStikz or Z in the UK.
There you
.com.
Excellent. Russell, thanks so much, man. And I'll hopefully get catching up with you again. Cheers.
Rab, cheers, mate. I appreciate it.